me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Welcome to Greenlight Maine for a winner's mentoring session. Here on Greenlight Maine, we are helping to grow Maine's economy one dream at a time. I'm Don Gooding with MCED, and I'll be moderating this discussion between entrepreneur and mentors, as I often do in my day job. With us in the studio is Scott Galbiati from Northern Maine Distilling, as well as three mentors who are going to help, I'm just going to call you 22 Vodka, work through one of the most challenging business issues that they're facing. I'm going to introduce the three mentors in a couple of minutes, but first, Scott, congratulations on advancing to this next stage in the Greenlight Maine competition.
Thanks so much, Don. We're really excited to be here. This is awesome.
Well, now, I happen to know your product very well, but just to remind everybody about your business, what we're going to do now is we're going to show your winning pitch from 6 months ago, and then we'll come back and talk just a little bit about it. So here we go. Take it away.
In September 2009, my wife and I distilled our first bottles of vodka, and I delivered those bottles to the state warehouse on the back of my pickup truck. Just 3 months later, in December of that same year, we won our first award for quality from an international tasting competition. Since then, my brand, 22 Vodka, has won more awards for quality than any other American-made vodka, and we're currently the most served Maine-made spirit in Maine. There's two components that combine to give my vodka its superior quality. First, the water we draw from Maine is the best in this country, hands down. Second, the one-of-a-kind distillation system that I designed and built is ideal at creating amazing vodka, and only vodka. We're passionate about creating great vodka, and that philosophy has led us to introduce a diverse but focused portfolio of vodka products, including the world's first vodka designed for infusing, and our latest innovation into flavors that are bottle infused using all natural ingredients. We distill our vodka in 50-gallon batches. By going so small, we can maintain consistent, precise control over exactly what goes into the final product. And because we run many small stills at the same time, we can boast the production capacity of bigger players out there. Now here's the really exciting part. Our one-of-a-kind system gives us a distinct advantage over every other small distiller in America. See, the traditional formula for growth in our industry results in small distillers adding larger and larger pieces of equipment to their process to meet increases in demand. The equipment that's used to distill plays as much of a role in the final product as the raw ingredients used. And any change in equipment is going to result in an unavoidable change in the final product. Our one-of-a-kind system allows our production capacity to grow incrementally through the addition of identical 50-gallon pot stills to our existing array of stills. This means that we can always maintain exactly how we do what we do, no matter how much we make, without ever changing or abandoning what made us special in the first place. My team has a combined 20 years of distilling and vodka industry experience, and our founding partners have degrees in chemical engineering and product design. 1 out of every 3 cocktails in America contains vodka. And once people taste America's most awarded vodka, we have them hooked. Since 2009, we've expanded distribution throughout Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., and Maryland. But there's still lots of room to grow in this $23 billion a year U.S. liquor market. We have the people, the process, and the product primed, ready to catapult this truly Maine-made product into the hands of today's sophisticated consumers. I invite you all to give our vodka a try and see what I mean when I say we didn't redefine vodka, we redefined distilling. Cheers.
Well, that's quite a pitch you gave there.
Thanks, Don.
And I'm sure that in the 6 months since you gave that, there's a lot going on, as there often are things going on in. Yes, always. So what's kind of the big thing for you recently?
Well, we've just begun hosting events at our distillery where we get to teach people how to mix cocktails, taste our products, or infuse their own. So we really find education's empowerment, and it's been exciting.
Oh, that's great. So now it's time to introduce our three mentors, but with an exciting twist, because we know that great ideas can come from anyone, right? It's not about credentials, it's about creativity.
Definitely.
So I'm just going to give you their first names, and so you're not going to know whether or not they're a SCORE mentor or an angel investor. All right?
Great.
So first we have Corey. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So are you ready to ask some good questions of Scott?
Yes.
All right,
So.
absolutely.
All right.
Okay, and next we have Carrie. See, I got to practice. Corey and Carrie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I look forward to listening to more and helping out. So.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And then finally at the end we have Peter.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Congratulations, Scott, on getting to this point here in the program.
And so you're ready to use all of your business experience to help him grow his company?
Ready to rock.
Okay. Well, so there we have it. We have a winning entrepreneur. We have 3 mentors who are ready to help. And so we're going to be back after a short break to talk about a real business growth challenge here on Greenlight Maine.
Please visit greenlightmaine.com to follow the progress of your favorite entrepreneurs and find information and resources about becoming an entrepreneur yourself.
I'm Jay Darling, president of Darling's Auto Group. The Darlings family has been in business since 1903, when my grandfather's uncle, V.S. Darling, put his business background and mechanical ability to work selling and repairing bicycles in Auburn. With the turn of the century, the age of the automobile was about to begin, and before long, he opened the Darlings Automobile Company. We've been in business in multiple locations throughout the state ever since.
Darlings Auto Group, sponsors of Greenlight Maine.
It doesn't take much to change your entire travel experience. It's more than a flight, it's the whole trip. Connect to your world with daily non-stop flights to Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Baltimore, Charlotte, and New York City. Portland International Jetport. Way better.
Please join us to find vital information on our website at greenlightmaine.com and be a part of our vibrant community on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Together, we're building Maine's future, one dream at a time.
We're back at Greenlight Maine with a winning entrepreneur and 3 anonymous mentors all ready to dig in to a challenge to growth. So, Scott, you've had lots of successes so far, but all businesses have challenges. So what would you like to talk about today?
So my question today is, for our next round of investment, do we invest in cultivating new outside markets or in creating a in-state tourist destination distillery?
Oh, a tourist destination distillery. Interesting idea. So, Corey, first question.
Yeah, Scott, could you talk a little bit about the distribution model for the spirits industry?
Certainly. Every state is different, unfortunately, but they all mostly follow what's called the 3-tier model. There's always a distributor in between ourselves as the supplier and then the customer. So we need to attract a distributor and then basically market to the customers is kind of the flow.
So you market to the customer yourself?
That's correct. As the supplier in this industry, we are responsible for marketing to the customer.
Got to bring the people into the store. Carrie.
How successful have you been so far, Scott, with the other, you've gone outside the state already in, I think you said New Jersey and stuff like that.
Certainly.
So what have your revenues been with that?
80% more or more is really in Maine. That's our home base. We are local here, and we can point to our distillery in the state when we make those sales calls. As we move further away from the state, the challenge does increase, but Maine has a good reputation for quality in Poland Spring LL Bean that I believe does transfer as we move further away.
Yeah, interesting. Peter.
Scott, tell me a little bit about your personal goals here. Are you looking to build a lifestyle business, or are you looking to create wealth by building the brand strength?
Great question.
That is a great question. Thank you, Peter. My wife and I have been doing this. We've been on the shelf for 6.5 years now. We really started this business back in 2004, so we've been at it for 10 years each. It has really become a lifestyle for us. I mean, it's hard. We believe and are passionate about vodka, but there is a lot of equity that can be built into a brand, so it really can go both ways, I think. But we are in it for the lifestyle, certainly.
But you do have investors, right?
We do. We are an S Corp, and that was how we were able to get ourselves off the ground, if you will, by finding people who believed in our vision and helped us get there.
Yeah, interesting. So, Corey, next question.
Scott, can you talk a little bit about how you see the tourist destination looking potentially?
Certainly. Up to this point, our distillery has really been function over form. We haven't had a means of accepting people in. We haven't had. We've always really focused on making it. I see a tourist destination being Maine themed, outdoor lodge style, and giving us an ability to show people how we do what we do, but also have them leave through the gift store. That is a very real component of this model. So
interesting. Carrie.
In the in-state, with what's your capacity with? Like, how many people can you take through the facility right now?
Literally zero right now. We get by with giving tours in a kind of makeshift, if you will, with a presentation style, but we don't have the means of walking people through our distillery at the moment.
Interesting. So this is totally new concept for you.
It is a new concept, but I believe in a sense of we've never been more ready for it.
Yep.
It's not something a new brand can just jump into destination. The following that we've been able to build over the last half decade of being for sale has given us some momentum in that direction.
Okay.
Peter.
Scott, if you need new investment to grow, will you get a better return on your investment by building brand outside of the state or by having a distillery destination facility to bring people in?
That's another great question, Peter. Really, I'm trying to find the answer to that question by going through this process. There's a lot of opportunity in both directions. As we move away from Maine, there's a lot of people in New York City, Boston, Manchester, just outside of the state, and that all leads to the brand equity. But we do, I think, have a very real opportunity to create a destination inside of Maine too, and attach it to places like Acadia that already draw 2.5 million people a year, to kind of not have to draw those people ourselves, but be able to draw off of that existing traffic.
Interesting. So you're in Brewer now, but you're thinking maybe down on Mount Desert Island?
Correct. So from 395 on the way to Acadia, you can literally see our distillery. It's not impressive and it doesn't stand out, but people are already passing us by. Whether it's where we are now or an entirely new location, I think there really is a huge opportunity.
Interesting. Well, I spent 14 years on Mount Desert Island, so I can imagine where it might be there. Awesome. Corey, another question?
Yes. Could you talk about where you see yourself in 5 years? We're talking right now. You have primarily a wholesale model. It sounds like retail is a really different component to that.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have an amazing foundation. We are in a crowded market. That was one of the big feedback points from our last episode. But that market is not saturated. However, we have the awards to point to that mean we are the top, the cream of the crop, the best in the vodka category. So with that good foundation, we do have an incredible opportunity to either bottle rockets, in a national level, or to build a really strong destination and bring people to us instead of going to them.
Maybe one more question, Carrie?
I'm very intrigued by the fact that your product is gluten-free and wanted to know more about, have you thought about marketing it more in that direction?
Most certainly. It's an important component that people look for when they're making a purchasing decision. It gives us another talking point, if you will, when we're trying to convince the customers to come to our side. But being gluten-free really allows us to target specific people.
Okay, so we're going to hold off for that final question, Peter, and instead, it's time for your initial thoughts on this business challenge that they are facing. So, Corey, initial thought?
Yeah, I think with where you're starting in Brewer, it's a great question for you to ask. Is it here? Is it closer to Acadia? Brewer, I'm not sure, is a big tourist destination right now, so you guys would really be a destination there. I think it certainly could go either way. I wonder if you might be better served with the wholesale strategy initially, and then kind of keep that in your back pocket for some time down the road.
Interesting. Carrie, your thoughts?
I'm kind of torn. I kind of agree with Corey a little bit on the wholesale side with some of the other markets. I know your product is very known for its quality, and so there are certain states that doesn't allow the advertising. So actually, products that are better with quality actually do a lot better in those states. So there's some great opportunities in that direction. But the whole new culture of pairing and is really exciting, and that really could have some legs and go off in that direction as well. So.
Peter, your initial thoughts?
Well, I'd be interested to know investor expectations are, or I think you should examine that. And then I would say, I would encourage you to go in the direction where you can get more brand strength. If going out into the marketplace where you're competing with hundreds, if not thousands, of other vodkas is too daunting, then maybe, being a big fish in a smaller pond up here might be the way to get the brand equity, to get more traction for it.
Lots of thoughts here. So you've heard from the anonymous mentors. So you in the audience, I'd like to hear what your thoughts are about how Scott ought to be addressing this challenge. So feel free to post those thoughts on Twitter at #GreenlightMaine or on our Facebook page. We'll be back after a break with our entrepreneurs' reaction to all of these ideas here on Greenlight Maine.
We help businesses increase sales. We help increase sales by providing business owners, chief executives, and marketing managers with effective advertising strategies and marketing campaigns. We help businesses increase sales by providing practical advice and tactical plans that are meaningful and measurable. We can help your business increase sales. Find out how at SutherlandWeston.com.
Hi, Ross here for Dysart's Restaurant. Everyone's having meetings, meeting about this, meetings about that, meeting about meetings. How ridiculous is that? Got a meeting? Meet at Dysart's Broadway. Look at my chart. Dysart's Broadway's got 3 meeting rooms. A big one, a bigger one, and an even bigger one. And the big one and the bigger one can combine to be even bigger than the even bigger one. How ridiculous is that?
Great food, great service, and a great place for your meeting. Dysart's Broadway.
Big and bigger's bigger than even bigger.
Dysarts.com.
Ridiculous.
I'm not thinking about health insurance all the time, but when I do, I know that Community Health Options is there for us. Whether we're getting a checkup, a test at the lab, or we're in the hospital, Community Health Options is there every step of the way. They'll help you get the most of your prescription benefits and manage any ongoing conditions, so you can think about other things.
Member-centered Community Health Options. Sign up or re-enroll for 2016 at healthoptions.org.
If any of you in our television audience has a big idea, we encourage you to visit greenlightmaine.com for a list of resources and information about starting your own business.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. We've heard about our Entrepreneurs Challenge. We've heard some ideas from our anonymous mentors. So Scott, lots of ideas. What would you like to continue the discussion on here?
So I'd like to talk more about perhaps creating the destination we have a lot of experience with marketing out of state and trying to build new markets. So I really like kind of your input, feedback, and creative ideas on is a destination something that would be in the cards for us?
Interesting. So thoughts on that? Corey?
Yeah, I think, to your point earlier about you started with your events, have people come up. I think people do have an interest in food, especially in Maine. Seems a big thing. I think you could build upon that. I don't know what your response is so far with people coming. I know that there are some wineries that have some pretty good events at their spots and stuff. I'm not sure that vodka has the same panache, if you will, as wine. I may be wrong there, but
interesting. Yeah. Other thoughts?
What is the competition right now for that type of product? Vodka, like wine and beer have their wine tastings and beer tastings,
Certainly.
but I haven't heard a lot of vodka tastings. So
well, there are 13 distilleries in the state of Maine at this moment, or there may be 15, honestly. But there is no place that's really created itself as a destination, if you will. There are some places that do full bar service. There are some places that do only tastings. Really, for us, we have, again, just focused on the manufacturing component of it, have gotten very, very good at that, and have really time to grab that new opportunity by the horns.
I want to build on Peter's comment about building the brand equity and whether it's local or out of state. Having lived on Mount Desert Island, and you see literally millions of people go through there, I'm just wondering whether having a destination there is actually a way to build an out-of-state brand equity, because if you're smart about building that list over time, then you can say, hey, you know, we've got a strong base in California, let's say, or it's probably more realistic, New York. Certainly. And so then you can actually be strong when you're marketing out of state.
It's to have people come to us with another attraction already there and to be able to draw for that, I think is exciting. And it would allow us to build perhaps a presence, people coming into Maine, and then as they return home to Florida, California, or wherever, we've kind of planted that brand seed in their mind.
Yeah, interesting. Any other thoughts from the mentors here?
Well, I'd be curious to know if an event-oriented model will give you the chance to sell enough product to warrant the investment in the event facility.
Well, it's a very good question. And because this is such a complicated issue, we're not even going to have enough time to go into that detail. But we'll continue the conversation online and in other personal ways. And so now it's actually time to reveal who these anonymous mentors are. So,
Corey Fogarty, Director of Merchandising, Stonewall Kitchen.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there's a local brand with national equity.
I'm Carrie Mayo. I am actually Vice President of Darling's Automobile Group with my brother Jay and my sister Lynn. So a family business, I understand all the dynamics of that. Plus, I'm the owner of Anthony John's Day Spa.
Yeah, and Darling's has been a great supporter of Greenlight Maine, so thank you for that. And finally,
I'm Peter Moore. I'm the managing partner at Corporate Finance Associates in Portland. We're a small investment banking firm, and we've worked a lot with the early stage entrepreneurial ventures, and I've done some angel investing on my own as well.
Mm-hmm. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so once again, we brought together a diverse set of resources for you that I think you're going to be able to avail yourself of well after this show. So we've heard now the identities of our three mentors. It's now time for a short break, and we'll be back with some final thoughts here on Greenlight Maine.
As a leader in Maine and New England in providing integrated accounting, consulting, and tax services to clients large and small, the team at MacPage has proven to provide innovative solutions to help us better meet our clients' needs. We enjoy the people we serve and care about the work we do. The success of our business is based upon our ability to develop quality relationships, one client at a time. MacPage. Accessible, approachable, accountable.
I'm Jay Darling, President of Darling's Auto Group. The Darlings family has been in business since 1903, when my grandfather's uncle, V.S. Darling, put his business background and mechanical ability to work selling and repairing bicycles in Auburn. With the turn of the century, the age of the automobile was about to begin, and before long, he opened the Darlings Automobile Company. We've been in business in multiple locations throughout the state ever since.
Darlings Auto Group, sponsors of Greenlight Maine.
Please visit greenlightmaine.com to follow the progress of your favorite entrepreneurs and find information and resources about becoming an entrepreneur yourself.
We're back for some final thoughts here on Greenlight Maine, and I want to start by thanking the three mentors who are appearing on the show, because mentors are such a critical resource for entrepreneurs, as you know, Scott, both from your experience with SCORE as well as Top Gun.
Definitely.
So, want to give you all one final opportunity to provide some thoughts. Corey, you're at Stonewall Kitchen. So
Sure. So Stonewall Kitchen, we have 10 retail stores along the East Coast, and mostly in New England. And I'll tell you, you hit the nail on the head, Scott. The retail business does feed the wholesale business. So when we do our marketing studies, we find that absolutely a lot of our customers were introduced to the brand through our retail stores.
Great. So interesting. So it is a great way to build that brand equity that Peter was asking about. Great. Carrie.
I think it's a great idea to do it inside locally here. There's a lot of great opportunities with the pairing and that whole excitement, and that seems to be a trend that's going on now. So.
Exciting. Peter?
Well, I like that you're developing this event way to connect with your customer or to develop a customer base. And I think if your real passion is to have your lifestyle here, then to really enhance that lifestyle will be more gratifying for you, and hopefully that'll turn into financial success as well.
Yeah, because obviously you enjoy having that interaction with the actual customers, right?
Certainly.
As opposed to having those distributors in the middle.
For real, it's just when you can look someone in the eye, explain to them why they're tasting what they're tasting and all that. It's just it's a connection that's awesome.
Well, great. So lots of ideas we talked about here. What's your big takeaway today?
I believe in the brand equity that we've built from the beginning. It was an important foundation for us. I think that's really given us a great opportunity here. I am so thankful for your input and thankful for all of it, but really your experience with Stonewall Kitchen has kind of opened my eyes to some bigger potential possibilities on the horizon. I think we have a really good opportunity on our hands.
Excellent, excellent. Well, all of us wish you and your business a lot of success. We were talking in the break how both you and your wife have some different ideas in working through this big, important business issue.
For the better.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, if you don't have that tension within the company, you can go in the wrong direction. So that's awesome. So we wish you the best of success there, and also in the next round of the Greenlight Maine competition.
Thank you, Dan.
Speaking of that, so for those of you in the audience, please watch our Facebook page as well as greenlightmaine.com for announcements about the rest of the Greenlight Maine competition. What we're going to do is we're going to have a live event to narrow down our 13 competitors to 2, followed by the final 2 weeks of our online competition where you can go to greenlightmaine.com and vote to help pick a People's Choice wild card. And then those 3 companies are going to come together for a televised championship event where one of those 3 companies is going to walk away with $100,000. We'll also let you know when we are starting to accept video pitches for next year's competition, because there's going to be another Greenlight Maine next year. And remember, if you want to start your own business, greenlightmaine.com has lots of resources for you. So keep thinking big and keep the positive feedback coming, especially for the companies that you see on the show, because together, the Greenlight Maine community is helping to grow Maine's economy one dream at a time.
Greenlight Maine has been brought to you by Darling's Auto Group. You'll do better at Darling's. Greenlight Maine would not be possible without the support of all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you. Prize money for Greenlight Maine provided by Maine Accelerates Growth through a grant by the Maine Community Foundation. Outreach and community engagement in partnership with Maine Startup and Create Week. Furniture for Greenlight Maine provided by Thomas Mosier. Handmade carpets for Greenlight Maine provided by Mugalian Rugs. Broadcast facilities provided by the New England School of Communications at Husson University.
Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Greenlight Maine has been a paid-for presentation by the Portland Media Group.